Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito, Monica McNutt, Alan Hahn, and Wally Zerbiak. Monica, you're back. They get a win. Yes. Don't ever go away again.
Oh, from your lips to our boss's ears. I'm here.
What was different tonight?
The energy. We talked about it in the postgame in terms of finding some easy baskets. And Evan Fournier, in particular, in the first half, was able to do that. He didn't need to dominate the basketball, saw the ball going in. And we know when this team can get going offensively, there's more energy on the defensive side of the ball. They never trailed in this ball game. It was terrific.
It was helpful that they were playing a team that was on the road, not without starters. It allows your starters to get into this game and get that confidence you need. Like this was a game you needed when you see what the schedule is coming up. Mm-hmm. You see this team, and you say to yourself, this is a Wally Zerbiak guaranteed win night. It had to be.
Should have.
It had to be.
Should have.
Because you see this team, you see what their roster looks like, you see the struggles they're going through. They're at the end of a road trip, and you say to yourself, we're about to go on the road. We've got to take care of business. We got to stop the bleeding a little bit here. And that's what they did from the very beginning. And I just love the fact that it was Evan Fournier that has been doing a lot of talking about making sure that, you know, we move the ball, we find the open man, you adjust. If somebody's got a matchup, go with it. And boy, he had it going in that first quarter. And that was a big help to start off.
That's the way to start the game, the way Evan Fournier did, and then everyone else kind of fell into place. And what about Alec Burks? Mm-hmm. An Alec Burks sighting. He's back. What a great sign to have him play the way he did. Also, Quentin Grimes, he's been solid every time out off the bench, knocking down shots. Obi Toppin's playing really good basketball. So you hope that this confidence that a lot of the guys have found will continue on against the good teams. Remember, they got Memphis coming in on Wednesday. That's a big-time test. Mm-hmm. And I firmly believe if guys step up and play at a high level, they can win that game, especially at home. That'll get them feeling good going on to the West Coast trip. Then you start off with the Lakers. You don't know who's going to be playing on any given night with the Lakers. You just take one game at a time. You got to bank these wins. And this was a good sign. And it shows how high the ceiling is for this team. When this team plays well, they're tough to beat. I mean, they ran over the Kings today.
I just love the bench had that energy we were used to from the bench. 61 points off the bench, led by, obviously, Alec Burks. And it's amazing the contrast here, Monica, because you have the players saying one game at a time, and then we have the bill that reminds us of what's coming ahead. And have you watched the schedule? You're looking at the standings.
What are you talking? You're the one that talks about it. Wait a minute.
Balance
Wait a minute.
now.
You're talking about how many home
we
games
have got to keep this thing afloat between these two right now.
He said we got to win 17 games to get to 500 on the season. He's looking 17 wins out.
He said that, and he's coming at me for not taking it one night at a time.
You are so focused on like what's coming and what's happening.
By the way, Atlanta lost tonight.
Okay.
That helps.
Hey, that's a little
scoreboard watching.
Yeah. All right. The big story here was the start, and we talk about, and you guys talk often about how the Knicks are so much better when they shoot well. Well, Evan Fournier was lights out in the first quarter with 16 of his 18, Wally.
No, he came out focused, and I agree with you, Alan. He made those comments about on offense, making adjustments, reading what the defense is taking away, and he has stepped up in the last two games since making those comments, and he's just been tremendous. The ball, and another thing, I like the way Kemba Walker saw that he had it going, so he just continued to get the rock to Evan Fournier. And Evan Fournier just continued to make shots, knock down shots. I think Kemba sacrificed his offense a little bit tonight. Look, there he's setting a screen for Evan Fournier to get him open to see who the hot guy is. That's a great point guard. That's a great teammate.
Good screen there by Randall, by the way.
Right. That tone setting was huge. Against a team like the Kings that are undermanned, that are young, that have lost 11 out of 13, just punch him in the face right at the beginning of the game. Just show them you don't belong on our home floor. That's exactly what Evan Fournier, the veteran, did. And then everyone kind of fell into place, played good basketball. Randall was great tonight, shot the ball high percentages. The bench was tremendous. Overall, that was a good feeling, confident team win that I think the Knicks needed.
Yeah, Fournier hit his first 6 shots of the game. Woo! I mean, first 6 shots, hit his first 4 threes, really got the team going from the three-point line. It seemed to be infectious early on in the game. It allowed the Knicks to open up that early 10-point lead, and it really, from that point, was just maintaining that double-figure lead. But Monica, it's 13-4 now when he hits 18 points, the Knicks are. And you'd almost think that that's an analytic, and I know I'm talking stats, but that's something that I would want to pay attention to and say, we got to make sure that we get, at least early in the game, get him going.
And I was about to say, beyond just the analytics, right? Like, you could break down whether or not that necessarily translates, but it does speak to how the team is playing when he gets his looks. And we have all said that you gotta find a way in this league to get some easy baskets. And if you've got a shooter, right, you can get him clean off of a screen. That's a relatively easy look. And so I think more than just when he scores in the winning, it's how the team plays. Because you go down the roster, and while RJ struggled a bit today, you've got other guys that have had good games.
Right.
You talk about Julius playing true to his position because he's not forcing, and we're getting late into the shot clock, and then it's stagnant, and it's funky, and it's ugly. So when Evan hitting shots is a byproduct of the ball movement, which is good for everybody.
It's 12 games now, almost 50% from three for Evan Fournier.
Yeah.
So, he is the hot hand right now.
Right.
Monica mentions R.J. Barrett, 11 points, lowest point total of the entire month, but Allen offset by the fact that Alec Burks had his best game in January. Remember, late December went for 34 against the Pistons. It's been a little bit off here this month, but he was really good tonight.
Yeah, and for Burks, he's had to do a lot for this team, and that's really why he's such a valuable piece, because he is that Swiss Army knife. You need him to be a point guard. They moved him into the starting lineup for a while. They have moved him around. They've asked him to play different roles. When last year, we remember that he was strictly a guy that could score off the bench. He gave you a lot of bench scoring. He was a guy that could deliver. And then when you move him into the starting lineup, you move him around, ask him to do different things, defer a little bit. It's going to mess with your game. Well, it was good to see him sort of back in that role that he's accustomed to, which is a guy off the bench who can work with the bench group. He seems to feed off better as being a guy that can look for scoring instead of trying to set up other people. And boy, when they get Derrick Rose back, and you add him now to the bench, which you expect him to go back in that role, Burks back in his role as well, that's when you start to feel like the identity of the team, at least reserve-wise, comes back. It was just great to see him see shots go down.
I agree. He's been all over the place with his roles. When he's with the starters, he goes a whole half without shooting the ball or even getting a pick and roll called for him. Now that he's on the bench, he becomes more of that instant offense guy where he's got the ball in his hands, he's running that pick and roll, he's able to get a feel for his defender and get to the free throw line, and then he gets himself into a rhythm with his jump shot. I think this is the perfect role for him. Moving forward, I think we're going to see more of what Alec Burks brings off the bench, Monica.
Can't wait to see Derrick get back so that can happen even more naturally for Alec.